everybody. Welcome back to Golden Dice Podcast. We are on episode 46.
46?
Can you
No
believe
way.
that? So, tonight, I'm your host, Brian, and with me I have Flock. How you doing, Flock?
What's up? What's up?
And Scotty.
Hi,
Hey,
everybody.
Scott. Tonight, we're going to talk about a couple
Hey,
things
Dr. Nick.
and stuff. Doing all right, Scott?
Yeah, hey, Dr. Nick.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, from The Simpsons.
Oh. There's too many seasons of that to
That's fair.
keep up with.
That's fair.
He says as someone who's watched all of One Piece. So anyway, we're going to talk about some things, but let's talk about the FFG stream today, led by our very own, or was our very own.
He's not our own anymore.
Community host.
He's flown the coop.
Can't claim him. Our very own button-up wearing Jack. So he was telling us about some things today on this stream, and they were the dates for the sectors and regional championships for this set. For those, we have one in Portland, Oregon, one in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and then one in... Where's the last one?
España.
España.
And then, well, there's something in Munich.
Bilbao, Spain? Or was that the regional championship? Bilbao, Spain is the regional championship.
We can look these things up.
In Munich.
So sectors. Sectors was Munich, Germany was November 1st to 2nd was the third sector. And then the regional is Bilbao, Spain. On the same date as the Philly one, or else we were going to hop a flight to Spain. So the interesting thing about that is ours in our backyard, Philly, is limited. How do we feel about that? I can see that there's a spectrum of emotions from the three of us here. We're on very different points here. Scott, how about you? I see you're jazzed.
I'm jazz hands going. I made a euphemistic comment in our Discord that maybe I will not repeat on air.
Nah,
but it's true.
It's mean.
Damn true.
It's mean.
No, I'm very excited.
Yeah. I think it's not a move that I expected from FFG to make an entire sector limited.
It had to happen because if they're going to have this as part of Galactic Championships, they need to logistically figure it out.
Yeah,
because it is much more difficult to run a limited event than it is to run a premier event.
Absolutely. Yeah, they have to have some product. And as we know, they have historically not always had all the pieces of the puzzle there for even premier events.
Yeah, I wasn't worried about the physical product part. I'm more concerned with the how do you corral all the people when they're opening packs? How do you make sure that nothing gets added to these pools? Right. Are they going to have other games will do it where the person across from you registers your pool?
Oh, wow. Okay.
That way you basically hand your cards over to someone across from you that just saw you open all those packs and they'll register your pool.
That takes a long time, no?
It does, yeah.
So 8 a.m. starts. It's gonna be great.
Yep.
I can't wait. It's interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing how they choose to deal with all that. I'm sure they have had conversations and are ready for it. Flock, how are you feeling about it?
I mean, I was really hoping it was gonna be premiere. I haven't done a limited event that's been bigger than a weekly or even just in our basement. So, I mean, I've won my fair share of drafts and stuff like that. So, I'm not worried about that. It's just more so making it competitive now when usually limited for me has been fun.
So, Flock, I'm going to give you a piece of advice. Read every single card. Right now, study it, memorize it, commit it to memory.
It's not going to happen.
No,
it's not going to happen. No, but when you're playing, don't be afraid to ask your opponent, hey, can I see that card? Can I read it? I just want to make sure I understand it correctly.
Yeah.
Because I know you Anyway, so I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be a really neat time. I feel as though we're gonna start putting some sealed content up on the channel and kind of talking things through as far as how to make the best of that situation. Scott, at the beginning of Time and Space, wrote an article on how to best do Was it draft or was it?
It was
limited?
a seal. It was a sealed pool. It was for
Okay,
the first
so-
release.
Perfect. Yeah, and I'm not sure. I didn't catch if they are making this into
Yeah, we
like,
don't
cut
quite
to
know yet.
draft or anything like that. But you do want to be cognizant of what you're pulling and how to build things. So we'll expect that on the channel in the future.
We do
will
not
be
need
working
an
on-
excuse to open more packs.
I don't want to open any more packs.
I wish we had gotten those $7 boxes from Miniature Market.
That was a fiasco right there. That was crazy. How crazy is that?
Yeah,
I wish it was.
would have
Wish
been
it was
good.
so.
Would have been nice.
So, how do we feel that this is going to be received by the public? Because this is a new kind of information, a new development, and I closed chat like immediately. I just wanted to watch Twin Suns today, so
I've seen I wasn't able to watch the stream at work, so I was just following in chat, and I've seen some people. I'm sure you're going to have other people that are. I'm sure you're going to have a vocal minority that are going to be like, "Oh, this isn't what I signed up for." As you saw when they announced that the Galactic Championships are going to have components of both.
yeah, I think it's interesting to have a multifaceted tournament where you have to, kind of rely on fate a little bit, but also flex your muscles, right? Flex that you are competent at this game overall instead of just in the deck building and following the recipe.
Yeah, I mean it's they're designing the game with limited in mind, so it almost seems foolish to not leverage like what they're designing. Like they're putting work into it, so let's see if it's got the wheels.
Yeah, I'm stoked to use cards that I haven't thought to use or found a place to use. And every legendary is now a viable thing.
Zuckus,
Well, okay, maybe not Zuckus. Almost every legendary is a viable thing. Zuckus, I did use once, and that was
you did. It didn't go well.
a resource. It was a good resource for me.
You played it once, I think.
I did.
I think I killed it right away or something.
Yes, you did. It's a threat. So, so we can talk a little bit about the we can talk a little bit about the pricing for each of these events, and some more pieces of news. So for we don't have images up for this one. You can scour the internet. It's not hard to discover for yourself. But for the sector, they're bringing back the World Between Worlds borders, and the participant prize is going to be a Yaddle, and the placement prize is going to be an Anakin Champion of Mortis. So that's exciting.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean it. With the exception of the fact that you're like, all right, this is what the third treatment for each of them.
Yes.
If you're going to have prestiges, that's probably going to happen. But I don't think they could have. With Anakin, they could have not picked a better legendary from this set. He is obviously the most ubiquitous
Yes.
one,
Hands down.
and Yaddle is going to go in every
Blue hero deck,
single
yeah.
blue hero deck that ever exists.
Yeah.
I would agree.
I mean, like maybe the only other card I can think of that might be more like common, like maybe Owen Lars, since both sides of the pond use that.
True.
But I'm not complaining.
True. I think they chose pretty wisely here. Flap, what do you think?
Yeah, I like them. They're both useful and new, so they'll be around.
Yep.
Yeah. Speaking on that.
Yeah. It's a
yeah.
nice Did you do
Yep.
that on purpose?
No,
that
No,
would be
that's
nice.
fair.
no, I did.
Speaking on that, the longevity of them, the regional prizes is Jump to Lightspeed Vader is going to be your participation prize, and then for the placement prize, Luke Skywalker from set 1, and it looks incredible.
It does.
Oh, it
Looks
does
really
look great.
nice.
Now, the problem for us that we're facing is that the regional is in Spain on the same weekend of the sector in Philly. So I don't know how we're going to get our hands on those cards, but if there's a will, there's a way, and the will is my wallet crumbling in real time.
I don't have any need to get a hold of those cards. That is a Brian issue.
Well, no, and I think that I feel less sad about it because one, I have plenty of Vaders from Jump to Lightspeed, and that's totally fine. I'm not worried about it. And the Luke is rotating out.
Yeah.
You don't know that. He might get reprinted.
Well, if he is, then I'm gonna have to buy him up.
Oh no, I have to.
Is this a signal
no.
that he's getting reprinted? Who knows?
Oh no, I'm gonna have to do some things.
Oh, he's gonna have to spend some monies.
So on top of that, they have announced that because the silver and black packs were so popular at the GC, they are going to be making a return in sectors and regionals, with more information to follow up on a later date.
Were they popular, or were they just the most easily scalped?
I like them.
Yes.
That's the question. That's the
I,
pose it to the
I don't hate
audience.
that choice.
No, I
You know,
don't. I like them. I think they're great. But I did see some people, like, oh, is it cool, or were they just scalped?
No, I think that's a valid point. I think that I hope that lessons were learned,
Yeah,
and that limits are
limit
placed
3 a
upon.
person, something like that.
When I walk up to the sector prize wall, I'm hoping to not see. I'm hoping to see a limit X per person.
Yes.
And I hope that they can follow up on that with badges or however. But I think that
Just
they
hole
need
punch
to-
your badge.
Yeah, that's fine. Get old on that though, like ASAP. Oh, I'm gonna bring a hole punch with me. Start clipping people's badges. I'm the hole puncher.
He's the hole puncher.
Okay, so that was the stream. They played a rousing game of Twin Suns.
Who won?
I can't spoil that.
Oh, come on.
It was pretty fun ending though. Jack backed himself into a corner, as one does, and had to make a choice. And I will leave it at that. It was a very interesting choice. And someone won. Someone walked away victorious. Whoever they may
someone
be
did win.
is celebrating tonight, I'm sure, in the
Yep.
halls of Valhalla. But
They
anyway,
died?
moving on. No, but that deck died probably.
More than likely.
So let's talk about our week or two in review since the last time we've chatted. We had a showdown at one of our local game stores.
Yes, we did.
Top Deck in Cherry Hill.
Yeah.
So I think from worst to best, let's chat about that. And the worst person there was me.
Shocked. Shocked.
The worst person there was me. I brought Talisman Red.
He tried really hard.
And he tried hard.
So ironically, that wasn't my tryhard deck. That was my fun deck. As I mentioned to Scott, my tryhard deck was Sabine.
No, your tryhard deck was Von Reg.
Oh, I did bring Von Reg, didn't I?
Yeah.
But that's my tryhard deck?
That was what you stated was your tryhard deck.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
that was facetious, I think.
That was facetious.
Okay.
I don't think I meant that. It's fast, but it's not, anything to write home about. But I brought Talisman Red. I went 2-2. I played a Ray Tarkentown on 1 that I don't think that's a rough matchup for me particularly. I did pretty okay. Round 2, what did I play? I already forget. Round 3, I played a Cat Tarkentown and I lost 2-1. I got way too lost in the sauce there. I got distracted. He put so many things down, and I could have swung for lethal if I had claimed, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to get rid of another threat, and he removed a Crafty. So I lost that one. And then round 4, I ran into a mirror, and I didn't have the initiative, and I think that mirror is incredibly initiative-based.
I feel like almost any mirror would be
Yeah.
initiative based, because unless you're playing like CAD versus CAD, then it's just weird.
Right. Yeah, but then I lost the ability to gain the force before my opponent. We did some weird dance where it was like the flip turn had a turret and a turret that I had the force. He had
Yeah,
the
this
force
is
and
funny
he
to
had the
watch.
force and I had the force. Yeah, it was a weird situation. So I
He
lost.
-3 your turret. You immediately drop a lightsaber on him.
Falling on it. Yeah. So he's like, cool. So now he has an exhausted Talisman's Assassin, and I have a Sentinel that has 3/5 again, and it was fun. I had a good time. I'm putting down Talisman for now, but I can get into that a little later.
Right.
I think it's kind of rough, and everyone is ready for it. They watched the Galactic Championship, and they kind of know what they're expecting, and it's not really a sleeper hit anymore. So, got to find a different way to push through the wall of the meta. So I ended up coming in 6th, got myself a Grand Inquisitor, and left for the day feeling pretty okay about it.
Could have been worse.
Who's going next?
Could have been worse.
So the next one
Who's next?
was me.
Hey.
I went 2-1-1.
So you just played slower than Brian.
Technically, no, I didn't play slower.
Technically, he got 1 win.
Technically, I got 1 win because the first round, the guy never showed up. I guess he submitted a melee and all that stuff, but never actually showed up.
Flock's better than me on a technicality.
Yeah. So round 1, bye, great. Round 2, I played a CAD Tarkin Town, and I forget. Those games are a blur, but I believe I made a few misplays that I wish I had back. Also, was doing the Yoda Red. I didn't even say what I brought. I brought Yoda Red. And I was messing with the C3PO. I learned about C3PO's ability with Array. So I was like, oh, let me try that. And then I threw Owen Lars in there. So I didn't keep up with the amount of Force units early on. So I was struggling to have the Force sometimes with not having some extra of the Force units. So basically just CAD to CAD things kept me off the Force, and I couldn't do some of my fun tricks. And then round 2 is when I got the tie. I played a Thrawn yellow, I believe. Thrawn 3 yellow. Game 1, I just did my stuff and got my damage in there. Round 2, I just got milled and ended up dying. And then in game 3, I made a misplay, I believe. Thinking back, basically I had like 2 units out. Cad Bane comes in, captures my units, and instead of me dropping the Crate Dragon, and then not worrying about Cad Bane capturing my stuff, I played a Luke and then forced through a kill to get Cad Bane. And then I had Luke out with the 2 other units. Then I got Cad Bane again. And I was like, all right, I forget what I did. I think I had Rivals Fall, got my units back, and then Super Laser Blast. So, yeah. And then we ended up going the time. So I think if I drop the crate there, they're not showing lethal. I think I just swing in for 10, or if they're trying to get rid of my Crate Dragon, they've got to, whatchamacallit, Super Laser Blast me. So I'm doing 8 to base, which I think I only needed close to 8. I don't know why I didn't do that, but yep, that was my mistake there. And then the 4th round, I played into an Anakin Blue. I always struggle in Anakin Blue. This is the first time I think I beat an Anakin Blue. Game 1, got my butt kicked. And then won game 2, and then ended up winning game 3, bringing it on back. But yeah, 2-1-1, technically 1-1-1. Did better than Brian. That's all I care. On Melee, it says I did better than Brian.
It does. You were 5th, right?
I was 5th. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was no top 8. It was only top 4 for top cut. Yeah,
so clearly, I did better than 5th since I'm going last.
True.
Clearly.
I brought Poe Dadevalt, aka Brown Sarah Connor. Just how the the deck generator named the deck, so that's the name of the deck. I ended up actually winning the event. I went undefeated throughout the day. Played a Talzin Red first matchup, cleaned it up, 2 wins. Played at Leia Lake Country. That was actually like the hardest matchup of the day, just because it's one of the few matchups where like I'm not the aggressor. I'm the one that's having to like clear up the board because they have more health on their base than me, and they move a little quicker with Leia's ability. Basically had to like constantly keep the board clear until I had like a massive fleet on my side and could just swing out for the game. Then played another Talzin Red, another two quick wins. 4th round, we ID'd just to solidify things, but then we played out the round. This was against the Cad Tarkin Town. I lost game 1 because I did not have a turn 1 play, and then I won the next 2 games. So that's pretty nice. I was happy with that. Not having a turn 1 play is a death sentence against Cad Bane. That was probably the most one-sided game I've ever been a part of. And then moving into the top 4, I played one of the Talzin Red players that I'd played previously. Games went the same way. Just was able to like out aggressive them. The Talzin, like they're putting stuff down on to the ground arena, but I'm going further with pilots. One game I think I was able to double pilot Millennium Falcon against him, so that swung in for 10, protected by a Chewbacca, so limited to what removal you can use, and at that point it's got so much health that it's kind of hard to force lightning too. And then for the finals, I played the Cad Tarkin Town again, and was able to win 2 games and didn't take any losses. So I lost 1 game throughout the event, which was felt pretty good. It's nice when it feels like a 6-round event, like 6 rounds throughout the thing feels like pretty sizable and like a good result. Since especially like in the last few events I've been going like 3-0, 4-0 to begin with, and then petering out as the day went on. So it was nice
finding hard control all day, breaking for lunch, and then just spiraling after that, I guess. But in this case, it was just nice to rack up some more round wins. Yeah.
I ended
Well
up
done.
I
That's a
ended up
good
winning
show.
the event on a timely intervention K2SO with a K2SO on board into something that killed the K2SO plus 3 overwhelm. So it was like ended
9
up
damage.
being 9 damage off of like kind of a weird sequence play, but I
Whew.
was very happy to find it.
Sheesh.
I think that was probably the harder line that I took, but it was more amusing.
Yeah. That works.
Yeah, it
That's
works out.
9
Hey,
damage to
9
the
damage
face.
is 9 damage.
Yeah. Can't avoid that.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So how do we feel about that? Are we any regrets? Scott clearly not.
No, I think I have been I moved off of the Kylo ECL just because I was having a lot of trouble dealing with space decks in particular, and space decks are very popular in our area.
Yes.
I did not play any, surprisingly enough, so I guess I could have done Kylo ECL into this since I have pretty good matchups into everything that I played. But yeah, the 25 health base was really kind of hurting me, so I decided I'll do the opposite of a 25 health base and do a 33 health base.
There you go.
Data Vault so hot right now.
Data Vault so hot right now.
DV.
What about you, Flock? What are you thinking? You gonna adjust some things?
Yeah. I'm probably gonna. I already made some adjustments to my Yoda Red, so I'm gonna
Cool.
do some play testing and see how that goes, and then yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, I'm off Talzin. I just don't think I can play it into this field and competently pilot it to where I want to be. I was on a tear at Open and then at the Open, and then I got back home and I just forgot everything. So I had
Oh,
made some adjustments to the
yeah.
deck, and it doesn't really. I don't think it worked out too great. So
I also feel like after Galactics, people know how to play in the Talzin. They played a lot of Talzin,
Right.
and they've kind of sort of teched for it, I guess.
Right.
Not really teched for it, but know what to expect.
yeah, I mean they know the play lines they have to do,
Yep.
and I think that everyone that did their best to do so. So we are in the thick of PQ season.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about some meta things, and I don't really want to spend too long on this because I'm sure that other podcasts have chatted about this to death, and we're not really the the uber competitive uh, group, but I did just want to make some observations about where we are in the swing of things here. So I'm just gonna run through the leaders and the bases that have the most percentage straight through. So at 7 wins, Flock, what do you think is a top dog right now?
Yeah, I know he hasn't looked at this.
I know you haven't looked at it, so I know Scott's looking at it right now. I'm sure.
Yeah.
But the top one right now is a
Top
Boba.
one right now. That's close. Boba's number 2
Okay.
at 5 wins at 16.1%, but at 7 wins, 22% is Quinlan Tarkentown.
Ah,
We have gone back in time.
Yeah.
right.
I mean, it makes sense that this deck has gotten a lot better with the release of set 5. There are some new tools to use.
Deppa deppa dabba da.
Yeah, Depa Balaba is out there. I mean, there's all kinds of different things, but yeah, Boba Dadavalt is number 2. That's a tough deck to go up against. I mean,
Yeah,
you
I
just
do
have to have
not
a
like
lot
that
of
matchup
things.
for Poe Dadval. The stupid, it's the Falcon coming in, pinging my 4 health 3-drop and then killing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Quinlan's stuff. I mean, Boba's stuff too. I mean, it's they're up there for a reason. They're solid decks. At third is
Third and fourth.
Third and fourth at 6.5% and
Yep.
2 wins apiece are Kylo 5 Tarkentown and Chancellor Palp 1 Emperor Palpatine, I should say. Emperor Palpatine 1 with
Put
the
some
yellow
respect in his
30
name.
HP base.
Mhm.
Put some stank on it. The Chancellor Emperor Palpatine yellow is kind of a surprise. I think. I mean, Palpatine's always kind of been present, but not swirling around the top.
Yeah, I mean to have taken down 2 events when for the most part every other deck's only taken down 1. And what they took down Hex and Co, which had 74 players, and then I'm looking for the other one and not finding it right away. Had 36 players. So this was a slightly smaller one out in Germany, but still, like, that's
a win's a win.
Hey, two wins is 2 wins, and as you can see, if you go on, the various websites that sort through all this meta stuff, not only 4 decks have more than 1 win.
Yeah, And I love that. I guess it's the recency of this next win that is putting it as high as it is.
Probably.
I think that they just did it that way for that reason.
Or alphabetical.
Yeah. Oh,
no, it's
not.
No,
because then Kira's after that.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
So this next one just happened recently. I think it was over this past weekend. That Akbar Data Vault took down a PQ, if you can believe that. But yeah, everything else has one win from here on, and there's a ton of them. So I'm not going to name, but there are some interesting ones. I mean, you do have the Yoda Red, which is DDA, I believe. You have your Savini CLs, your Gar-Saxon ECLs. Kazuda's making a resurgent here. Iden Data Vault, and then you have the same ones we've always seen. So Cat Tarkentown, the new Talzin, Hantu Green, even Sabine Tarkentown's on there as well. I mean, how do we feel about this overall meta right now?
Well, I think the spread explains it pretty well. I mean, we've gotten a lot of stuff. It's not like we have, one or two decks really far from everyone else. So it's like you see a bunch of one-ofs. It'd be different if you have like a cluster of the same ones, but no, you got a lot of one-ofs.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Quinlan is pulling ahead so much. I feel like Quinlan's kind of quietly creeping.
Yeah, that was a surprising thing. Like I would have not, I would have not necessarily thought of Quinlan. I know that what was it? Wu took him to the top 4 at Galactics.
Yeah, I think a lot of this is mostly because we've gotten away from Data Vault. Data Vault's not around as much, so Quinlan did great into the 30 HP, the 25 HPs, but the 33s and going a little higher, it was tough for Quinlan's to just get to the end. And same thing with the Boba deck. Same thing, all that spreading of damage. When there was Data Vault, it was tough to really spread the damage. But now Data Vault's kind of weaving away. Everyone's on 20 HP. So yeah.
Yeah, I
Data
think
Vault's still really popular though.
Yeah, but it's not as popular as it was.
It is, but everyone was getting slapped with Data Vault.
Yeah, every deck
it was like, they're 30.
Yeah, Sabine was running Data
Vault.
Like everything was running Data Vault. Yeah,
right. Yeah, so I think Flock's right, and I think that saying those words died a little bit inside. But yeah, I think the Flock is absolutely correct. I think the Data Vault, the death of Data Vault, the slow decay of Data Vault is where we see the Quinlan resurge a little bit. But how does that change your expectations and interests in what to bring? I mean, Scott, I know you can't go Saturday, unfortunately, but if you were to go, what would you?
I mean, like I said, it's not a matchup that I really like with the deck, but I'm not, it's just not omnipresent enough for me to be like, I'm going to change horses midstream. And I think like if we look further into like the leaders that are making like top cuts and not just winning, we see Quinlan Voss at like 13%. We see Han 2 at like 13%, and then Sabine at like 10, Kylo or at 9, Kylo at 8, Boba at 8. So it's like at that point, it's pretty diverse. So I'm not too worried about any one individual matchup. You really have to pick like you got to bring something that's going to be good against 4 or 5 different ones of the matchups, and you might have 2 matchups that you don't want to see. I think that's kind of how it shakes out right now because there's a lot of diversity in leaders. There's a lot of diversity in like archetypes because we're seeing like mid-range decks, we're seeing aggro decks, we're seeing control decks, we're seeing like soft control, hard control, like all kind of everything's running the gamut here. You've got space aggro, you've got ground aggro, you've got a little bit of everything. You've got Akbar. I don't know what that deck does.
That deck is actually really, really neat. It's got a lot of droids and Babu Frick in it.
I heard about that. I'll look up the deck list after this, but that's one that I'd have to. Is there video?
I believe a couple content creators have played. I think Mog TCG has a video with an interview that with the guy.
That's perfect. That's the best. So straight from the horse's mouth.
I think that there's a lot of diversity going on, and I do want to make one point that we're seeing a lot of red on the rise, a lot of aggression on the rise. In the top, there is 123 decks that have aggression in it, compared to the next would be 76 and 75 vigilance and cunning, respectively, and a big decline in command. I think that accounts for like the red blue hero or villain force package that needs to have Anakin's and needs to have force throws and needs to have, lightnings or whichever, because I think at this point everyone's running things out of aspect anyway just to get the Anakin online.
Yeah.
But it is interesting to see how this is starting to take shape. Flockton, what are your thoughts as far as the future and how you would look at this data and make a choice of going into the our one PQ that we have a premiere for the rest of this set?
Basically just play what you know, because it's so wide open. There's a lot of choices. Just play what you know, what you've been playing, what you want to play. It's not like you're going into a meta where if you're not playing these specific decks, you have no shot of winning. So that makes me excited. Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think that speaks to our dynamic big time. But any given Sunday, really, I mean, you can bring anything, and anything has a good.
I mean, if I'm looking at these things that made kits, there's a pre-Vizsla down there.
Yep.
Yes, there is. Yeah.
There's a Captain Rex.
Yeah, Captain Rex has that unity of purpose.
Yeah.
Some combo, but
yep.
It happens. It can happen.
It happens. Yeah, people find the most random stuff and kind of run with it. I think that I would look at this and also say that while I like the openness of it, it is kind of annoying that I don't really have a solid answer of like, I could run this archetype and do really well compared to I could run this archetype and do well. I could run this archetype and also do well, right? It makes it hard to choose for someone like me who doesn't have a set deck at this point, and I haven't gotten the reps that you guys have. You guys are pretty consistent. I mean, Flock loves Yoda Red this set, and for the last couple of weeks, you have been on Podadavol or Kylo for a long time. Like, you guys get your reps in. I'm kind of a floater. Like, if you watch our videos, I make a lot of different decks that typically don't really do that well, but I want to showcase and explore the mechanics of the set. I'm not a competitive player at heart. What?
Yeah, he said showcase, but
he just wants to use all of his showcases.
Yeah, he just wants to use the showcases.
I would like to showcase my showcases. I mean, showcase the mechanics. But yeah, I don't know. I'm having a hard time deciding on what I want to do for these events, and thankfully, I'm actually really excited that the Maryland PQ is limited because
then you don't have to decide. You don't have to pick anything. Not well.
Exactly.
You have to pick a lot of stuff, but not beforehand. Not before the event.
Exactly. And I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
But so speaking of PQs, I'm gonna reshuffle some things because I think continuity's sake is Well, you know what? No, we'll talk about it now. So we're looking at the top meta of the week and the set and whatever have you, and looking at the top couple decks, we have Quinlan Tarkentown, Kylo Tarkentown. What else uses Force? Han Green, Anakin Blue, Yoda Red. Force Throw is still prevalent in the meta. How do we feel that we are not getting a Force Throw addition to the suspended list for now?
I think it's fine. It's
Expand
working
on
out. I mean,
I think it's fine.
I think it's fine.
Perfect. Let's move on.
I mean, we're already showing
Print
that
it.
you don't need to have Force Throw to win. I mean, we have a lot of Force Throw decks winning, but that's also because the new set is all Force. So I think a lot of people just want to play Force. I think as the set comes out and people start moving away from the new shiny thing, moving back to what they want and building on older decks, we'll start to see more of a resurgence of different decks coming up.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people argue that. Well, I mean, I think this is a really mixed opinion. I think that when Boba and Django were prevalent, it was pretty overwhelmingly the majority of the opinion that we should be banning those things. I think Force Throw is one of those cards that this is the first time in this game where people are kind of split down the middle. I don't know where I stand on it personally. I don't think it should be banned, but I have seen people argue that maybe we cut a copy of it. Maybe you can only run 2 copies max in a deck. I think that's interesting because that's not quite a ban, but it's an adjustment because the card itself isn't inherently broken.
It's the second one.
Yeah,
because you can play around one.
Mm-hmm.
You can't play around the second one.
But it being so undercosted and the ability to choose yourself to just nuke something on the board. I mean, it's problematic, right? Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's, and that's why it's controversial because I don't think it's inherently broken, but I do think it's really strong and really annoying.
Yeah, it has a really good high ceiling with using your opponent, potentially getting one of their good things, but also the downside is they could be ready for it and having something low costed. So you choose them and it's something what you don't want. But yeah, then it could be really broken if you've just got cards in your deck just a force throw.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you know obviously with the addition of Jack's favorite Jedi, refilling
Yeah,
people's
immunity.
hands
Yeah.
definitely helps that he slots right. Like he should just have been any color but red.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. He could have been blue again.
Yeah, just stapling him, putting him in red probably exacerbates the issue a little bit. I just think, you know, if I'm FFG and I'm looking at this and I'm seeing the meta that's shaping up, the meta that was at Galactics, the meta that's been since then, I'm looking at it saying, this is what I would want if you asked me, like, what are your hopes and dreams for meta? Because it's not perfect. It's never going to be perfect. So you know, realistically, they have to expect like, oh, okay, we're seeing good archetype diversity, we're seeing good leader diversity. You know, the latest set's getting used, but it's not completely running over everything. Like that has to be checking off their boxes. So what I don't think they want to do is throw a grenade into that and then hope that the meta that comes out of that lands better. Because you know you're taking out a lot. If you take out force throw, you're taking away a lot of the tool that a lot of mid-range decks use. Does that archetype then kind of fall off to the wayside and you're just back to just aggro or control?
Yeah, there needs to be balance because if you take away force throw, then like the blue-green control decks of the world are going to be obnoxious and overpowered, and I think more prevalent. But like, it's a delicate situation because that has to be replaced by something.
Yeah, there's a vacuum that gets, you know, something, and your worry is that it gets replaced in a negative way where now you just have more of a coalescence rather than, you know, spread out.
And I swear to God, I can take 3 force throws a game. What I can't take is ECL Vader. That nonsense is garbage, and I've said that before. What were they thinking?
Well,
Oh
it's
my God.
it's clearly not, you know, burning up the world.
It's really really annoying though, and I hate it personally.
We got one Kylo data vault in winning, and then you know, so
Gar ECL's up there.
Gar's got one.
Is up and coming, and I think that is a huge.
That also that leverages it even better because he got 6 attacks, so he kills most things.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. Whatever. You know,
I've traumatized Brian.
I hate it. I hate it. There's so much ECL Vader. And it's so telegraphed too. Like you can play around it, but
did you put a unit on the ground? Uh-oh.
Sorry.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
I mean, literally, that's like the play pattern against a lot of the, like, if I'm playing against a Gari's ECL deck with Poe, I'm not putting a single thing on the ground until ECL is used. If you get me with a timely intervention after that, good on you. Right. But it's not going to be just the straight up ECL.
Yep.
Right. Yeah.
Not let you kill my space units with a Vader.
Vader has the Infinity Gauntlet. I am inevitable.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Do we have any other things to say about force throw and the meta right now, or do we want to move on to some other stuff?
I think it's going to live to see rotation at this point.
Yeah.
I think so too.
Yeah.
And people always, I mean, with the next set coming out soon,
and that is not to say that, because I want to make the distinction. That is not to say that FFG should look at it and say, oh, well, it's going to rotate out soon, therefore we don't need to touch it. I don't think that should be their modality going into something like that. I think if something's a problem, you touch it as soon as you can and just go from there. But if you determine it's a problem, you act regardless of when it's going to rotate.
I feel like I don't know how they would make that distinction though.
I feel if it continues to be up there, like if you have this numbers you have now, or if they go up and it's like that for like a month or two, then maybe be like, all right, let's, you know.
I don't think that change happens overnight though, and I don't see it happening before set 6.
Oh yeah, it could be till next set. It could be like next set.
And I think
right before the end.
They have always done a great job of the new set replacing things, and I'm curious to see what kind of replaces, and we forget about Force Throw maybe or maybe not.
Yeah, I could see a world where if like set 6 doesn't land all that impactfully, and if they're looking at it and saying, "Oh, it's because the Force Throw creates a problem for those decks," then that might be a trigger point.
Mhm.
But I think it's going to live.
I think so. I agree with that. I'm conflicted on that. I think it's fine though. Ultimately, I think that's the right decision. You can yell at me in the comments. I don't care. So, anyway, we did mention that we have our only premiere PQ for this set coming up on Saturday, because the one that we are going to next month is limited.
Mhm.
But let's talk a little bit about that PQ on Saturday. Scott, like I mentioned, unfortunately is unable to attend.
I got a stupid nephew. He's going to be 3. Like, he's not even going to remember this, but yeah, I got to go. I got to make an appetizer.
Bummer.
Yeah.
Bummer. He'll turn 3 again at some
Yeah,
point.
it happens again.
He'll be 3 for the next 364 days. What's the difference?
It's fine. He's a very cute kid.
All right, I'll allow it.
Yeah.
But Flock and I will be going to the PQ on Saturday. I have toiled and been in turmoil for the last week after the showdown, thinking, what am I bringing? And I have touched on a lot of different possibilities. But Flock, what are you? We'll start with you. What are you going to bring?
Probably Yoda Red or Cad Bane Tarkatown. Probably one of them. Or Garsax and ECO.
All right, now we're just
or I'll play what's that card? I'll play the new Anakin.
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't
Okay.
do not do that.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
If you got a chance to watch we put this up on Trilogy Tuesday,
Trilogies.
didn't we? Yeah. If you got a chance to watch that deck doesn't do anything against anything.
No.
I
tried.
Like I said, I think you need to swap that over to blue.
Yeah, I already did. I already started messing with the blue.
That
one.
needs to be a Vengeance Temple Anakin instead of a Temple of Destruction Anakin.
Yeah, I agree.
So you already said you made some updates. You feel pretty comfortable with it.
Yep, I made some of the updates to my Yoda Red. Also, after seeing the PQ results, people getting second place people and all that stuff, seeing what they decided to go with and all that stuff. So I was taking in some of their stuff. I'm like, okay, let me actually
dirty net decker.
I'm not net decking. I'm just
coming
taking
over to our side.
I'm taking some advice from some people that have already run it in a big tournament.
On the net for your deck?
Oh, net decking stands for internet deck? Oh. I thought it was net like an actual net where you're scooping up someone else's deck. Like net decking.
Oh, I'm gonna die! Oh my god, I'm gonna die!
Oh wow! No, it's not.
It's from taking a deck off the internet, sir.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Flockton is like, I never got a net and caught my deck with.
Yeah, I was like, what are you guys talking about?
Wow.
Yeah, that's all we can.
That is the last thing I ever expected to hear.
Well, with Flock, you got to get used to the unexpected.
Wow.
I don't even know where to go from there.
I don't either.
There's no sequential. So, Flock, what are you expecting to see on Saturday? What are you expecting to run into? What do you think the field's gonna look like?
I'm more expecting space. So I kind of teched my deck for space. I put Conquer Dawns in there.
Yeah.
I have replacements for him, so I could take him out and I could swap him in with something else. So if I don't need a game one, but I think I'm trying to make my deck, since Yoda's kind of I would say it's not a hard control, but it's got a control. You're controlling with units more so and less.
It's controlling.
So I want to kind of make my deck the basic deck for everything. And I think I struggled with space originally. I thought that the Hammerhead was going to be great, and it's kind of like there's a lot of times I'm not using it as much.
Too late.
I mean, you have a Kiadi Mundi to have it, but by 6 just to blow up one thing sometimes.
It's too late.
Yeah, and then sometimes it's
good in a mirror.
Yeah, so there's a lot of times I just kind of ended up just either that's my 4-star card, or I was just resourcing it. So I cut that and went with a Conquer Dawn's more like space is going to be more so my slow them down, restore, and all that stuff. And then, yeah, if I need to take it out, I can take it out and throw something else on there if I want to worry about just the ground.
Yeah,
so
I think
I'm trying to cover everything.
Oh, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
But I think Conquer Dawns are probably the play if you're worried about space with that deck, as opposed to like something like a Hammerhead, just because those decks are killing by turns 5
Yeah.
and 6. So it's like
Yep.
if you're not removing something until 6 in the space, you better have dropped a lot of. You better have a Yaddle, an Owen Lars, and a bunch of other Jedi on the ground.
Yep. Yeah.
Which can work. Can get you there.
Yep.
What's your what's your target here, Flock? What do you think how do you think you're gonna do?
Oh, dude, how many rounds is it?
That depends. I think they're gonna get up to like 80, 90.
Yeah, 03 drop.
Okay.
So we were. I do just want to share a quick anecdote in regards to that net decking comment. We were talking before the showdown on Saturday, and Flockton was just chatting, and went, dude, did you know there's a combo with C3PO in this deck? And you could use C3PO and like endlessly cycle and get your cards and then also Rey. And I was like, yeah, that's it's been. Did you just figure out how C3PO works?
Not as how C3PO works, but like the combo with Yoda with the putting on top and then C3PO,
So yeah, for
you can just
C3PO
keep
works.
doing it. I was like, oh, that's pretty nifty.
This guy.
I net decked that. I found that online. I was like, oh, that's cool. I see like that. I see why everyone net decks.
I feel like that's something you could have figured out for yourself.
I just throw stuff in
I
there,
don't know if you
whatever
needed
looks
a
cool.
net deck on that one.
I mean, I was mostly just going for force units for all my 2s.
Sure.
I was just going all force since I'm playing the force base, but I wasn't using the force as much to need every single unit to give me the force, because a lot of times I just get the force and I'm attacking with it.
Yeah.
I have it. I'm waiting to use it for certain times. So it's not like you're attacking and using it. I mean, when you're playing like Talzin uses it all the time with their ability. It's easy to just. But when you're playing like a leader like Yoda that doesn't have using the force, you're kind of using it sparingly.
Yeah. I don't think you're gonna 03 drop. I think you have reps on this deck. I think you'll at least.
Now, once I'm 0-2, I usually get 1 or 2 wins. I
got
got 0-2, and then I'm
at
like,
the
okay,
worst.
I handle those people, and I get back up to 2s, 2-2, and then now it's like, okay, am I going to go to 3 or am I going to end it? So,
I have gone back and forth and back and forth and back and forth on what I wanted to play. It's been endless, and the tournament is real. It's kept me up at night, amongst other things in the world. But I was thinking about, I'm off Talzin. I was thinking about going back and running it back on Sabine because I did have some moderate success last season with Sabine. But I didn't know how she would go into this field, which is mostly pilots. I might be able to outspeed them, but some of these pilots are way faster than me. Like Kazuda is way faster than me. Poe is way faster than me. And then I thought about Boba Datavault because that's up and coming and hot, and Datavault so hot right now. A lot of indirect, some cool play lines there, some big ships,
yeah,
yada yada. But ultimately, I ended up taking some inspiration from Scotty, and we're gonna rock with.
Wait,
Poe
team
Datavault.
deck? Oh, I'm swapping the Poe. Team
Poe
deck.
Datavault. I think there's just something satisfying about slapping some pilots on a Millennium Falcon and watching your opponent flounder and try to figure out how to take it down before it takes you down, and it does 10 damage a turn, and you go, okay.
Yeah, that works out pretty well.
It is what it is. I agree with Flock, and I think the field is going to be mostly space, mostly pilots. I do think we're going to see a little Cat Tarkentown thrown in.
Mm-hmm.
I do think we're going to see... I wouldn't say that we're going to see a lot of Hans or Quinlan's. I don't think that our group here is two finger on the pulse. I believe that they're more of a we do what we want to do kind of group,
Well, if we're taking a look at you look at the top 8 from the Wilmington, Delaware, which was relatively in this area, you had Gar Saxon winning it. You had a Han Blue, Kazuda, Kylo Tarkentown, Quinlan Tarkentown, Sabine, Kazuda, Han. So Han and Kazuda being your more present leaders. So you got your classic guy in there, and then you've got your more oddball guy involved.
Yeah, I'm terrified to see a Kazuda meta post rotation.
Right.
I think that he's going to be everywhere. He's going to be the new Sabine and
everywhere.
Maybe even better. Hot take.
Hot take.
Hot take alert. So yeah, I'm looking forward to Saturday. I think it'll be a great time. I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, that they have decided that they are going to host some side events for people that have dropped.
Nice.
They're a pretty well stocked store. They can do drafts, they can do seals, they can do prize support. They've always been pretty great about prize support as far as their events.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think it'll be pretty neat. And then the last thing we have here is thoughts on the PQ point system. Would anyone like to take a crack at that?
I think we've kind of already talked about this
The point system
in previous ones. Yeah.
Yeah, but now that we're seeing how things have shaken out, how do you feel? Do you think that the point system is appropriately priced?
Well,
or
I don't think we'll know really until there's more, till we're in like the next few more sets. I think we won't really know until like December time when it's getting close to Worlds, knowing how many people are in, for date or locked in to make it.
That could be
That's so it won't be until I'm guessing like December, January. I'm gonna guess if they're gonna increase the points, they're probably gonna do it like right after like the Christmas holidays and stuff like that. Is when they'll come out probably and be like, hey, worried about not having enough people there. So here's more points.
Yeah, well, I mean, how many events have they? I had this up on the meta. I think it was like 31 or something that
31.
they've had PQ so far.
31.
So obviously, that's not going to fill
move the needle.
a convention hall in the Venetian, but
yeah.
I wonder
there's
if
still time.
I wonder if they're ever going to look at providing additional points at certain player levels, just because you do see like 100. You see 126 player PQ, you see a 30-person PQ, and it's like,
I don't think it's enough. Let me restate that. I don't think they're giving enough points.
I don't think
the
so
board.
either.
I think that it's priced too high. I think that they are going to find a shortage, like y'all have said.
Well, I think they'd rather that than have too much early on and have to cut
I don't
back.
know.
I don't think so. They need to fill a convention hall.
I mean, I think they will if they add it too, or they can always retro add it.
I think they want.
They can always retro add points. I'm guessing it's all in Melee, so they can definitely do that.
Bring things down a little bit, but I mean they have the leaderboard,
or
so
that
it
too.
is possible to see where everyone is
Yep.
at.
So
cool. Do we have anything else we wanted to add on that before we move on?
No, I think we're pretty good on that.
So let's move on to listener questions. We're approaching an hour. Let's wrap it on up here. So there is a question from last time that we didn't get to. It was posted after the episode was recorded. Christian Barthel says, hey, did the Worlds feel very international, or was it more like the U.S. Championship with guests? You talked about one French podcast, so it's Pure Spock. Did you meet listeners from other countries? I would say, yeah, we did.
Yeah, I met and spoke to a lot of people that were traveling from. I got a bunch of people from Europe. I talked to 2 gentlemen from South America. I talked to 2 gentlemen from Australia and New Zealand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Australia, New Zealand, Mexico, Canada, Spain. I got.
Does Canada really count?
Canada is technically part of the international.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's not our country.
It's not our country.
It's the hat, right?
And we're happy to see them.
A boot.
Yeah, there was a lot of people not from America, which is good.
Vegetarian says, what are you playing Saturday? We just chatted about that. Michael says, what should I play Saturday?
Now, here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
When is this podcast going up?
Friday.
So when it goes up Friday, in the comments, you got to place your bets on if Brian's actually going to follow through running what he said he's going to run.
Ooh.
I want to see it in the comments. Like, are you betting on Brian, or are you taking the no side?
First of all, never bet on me. I'm like the Eagles. Never bet for or against. I'm a wild card.
The Super Bowl champion Eagles.
Yeah, it's getting harder to say that lately because they're good. But Michael says, what should I play Saturday? I say Cal of any color. I know you have them all built.
Spin the wheel.
No, don't. Let's
get
see.
that Jedi Trials
Let's
going.
see. What rogue deck do pre-Vizsla? Bring that thing up to 2. Get it up on the leaderboard.
I Am Your Father. It's a good card in Pre-Vizsla. That's all I know about Pre-Vizsla. Draw some cards. Or deal a lot. Or deal 7.
Something with force throw and just see force throws.
Pretty much.
That would
Just
help.
draw.
That'd
Just
be
draw
good.
good.
Good idea.
Just draw good.
Just draw gooder.
Could be fun.
You know?
All right, could be fun.
Vegetarian also asks, what's your best tip for sealed, since I think we're all suddenly very interested in not sucking at that format?
I guess the biggest thing would be to really recognize if you have like the internal synergy. Well, because we've talked about this before, and it's in that first article I wrote. You can throw away some of your aspects because you just don't have enough cards. You can usually get one out of there, so you usually have a choice between 3 aspects at that point. You really need to look at like the internal synergy there, especially in this set, because there are a number of leaders that require the force, and there are only so many units that can generate the force. So you really need to be careful that you're not just blind picking the better leader, like say like an Obi-Wan, who is a very good leader in a limited format, but does require you to actually get there. You need the units to generate that. If you see too many creatures as your low drops, you might need to pivot off something to someone more generic.
Yes, you are locked into a force base in one way or another.
Yep.
In this set. So whether you utilize it or not is entirely on you, but since you have it, you may as well use it.
Yeah.
Flock, what's your tip?
Don't, or I guess sit next to me if you can.
It's sealed.
It's sealed.
Yeah. Oh, sealed. That's not draft. Well, I mean, the drafts are still sealed.
What?
You guys always make fun of me that when you're sitting across from me, I give you all the good stuff. But yeah, I still do well in draft. Whatever.
Not every
Sealed.
pee-pee time is poo-poo time, but every poo-poo time is
Yeah.
poo-poo time.
Yeah, don't be afraid to swerve. If you got 2 leaders of the same color, similar aspects, don't be afraid to swerve to a different leader. Because you're not locked into that leader once you pick it. So
Absolutely.
I sometimes try to, I know I've done sometimes where I tried to keep 2 blue heroes if I got the chance, and then if I want to swap off one. So
yeah, I think my advice would be to, one, like I said to Flock, read all your cards and read your opponent's cards. Don't assume that you know what something does when you're building your deck or playing across from someone that you assume that you know what they're doing. Dig in and read.
mm-hmm.
But also take your time with deck building. You are allotted time with deck building, so make sure that you utilize all the time and don't just rush into something and YOLO round 1 and go, well, that was terrible, and now I'm behind and I have to figure out in between rounds what I'm going to do for the next to kind of adjust.
All right.
Yeah, if you're building your deck and you're thinking, oh, maybe I'll try this and then I could try something else. Think harder.
Yeah,
that's usually a sign of there's an inherent problem with that deck, and you're already thinking about going with something different. So you really need to kind of suss in and make sure that you're not missing the forest for the trees.
And that kind of goes into our next question here. RexCon asks, going on sealed more since there's tournaments for it. At pre-releases, I've gotten better and worse packs for those events. Any thoughts on what to do at like a sealed PQ if you get packs that are underwhelming or a non-coherent deck?
I mean, there's definitely been instances in certain sets where you can just get a really non-coherent deck, but you just kind of have to go with the basics of like making sure you've got a cost curve. Like if the synergies just aren't there, then you just need to go with the basics. Make sure you're hitting your cost curve, because the one of the easier ways to lose is by missing your drops. Mm-hmm. If you're coming in and you're it's turn 4 and all you're playing is like a 2, that's just not going to work out. The stats are going to start getting ahead of you, synergy notwithstanding. So just focus on the cost curve. Make sure that you've got that working for you. Make sure you've got enough. You're using the early units that you've got, even if they're suboptimal early units.
Yeah, put as many porgs in your deck as you can. That's my advice.
True.
If your deck sucks, play porgs.
Some curious flocks.
Hope you don't pull too many bases.
Yeah, pulling a rare base in sealed feels so bad, especially in this
I
set.
am just waiting for someone to sit. We're going to be at the PQ, or we're going to be at the sectors, and I know that you're just going to there's going to be someone, and they're going to open like 3 rare bases, and they're going to rage quit.
I mean, what do you do at that point? You probably do, and I like the fact that there's not always necessarily a necessity to have rares. Rares do not always.
Rares
make
do
the
not.
world
No,
go round.
the uncommons can very much be more impactful.
The commons and uncommons from
Yeah.
each set have packed a wallop in
Yeah.
certain situations, and I'm sure that's not different here.
But rare bases,
But in this set, that's really bad
yeah, that's really bad.
Yeah.
because they give you abilities otherwise in other sets. This one is like, hey, you can get the force.
You do the thing you already were doing.
for 3 less. You know,
Mhm.
I really do think that if they're going to have they're going to have limited as and sealed is going to be an element of that format, that they need to have the rare base just replace the base slot
I agree
in
with
the
that.
packs,
I agree with that a lot.
I like that idea.
because that is the most feel bad opening in a sealed pool. Everything else is more usable than that.
Yep.
Flock, you got any last comments on that one?
No.
Underwhelming or non-coherent deck? Okay. Vegetarian asks, can we get a cat bane? There's
Bro.
a thing that our locals do.
That boy ain't right.
So when Flock was playing, her this weekend, she dropped a cat bait and captured, and every time our locals go cat bait.
It happened twice.
It's pretty funny.
Hit him with a chewy, just for
Yeah.
just do it. Just do it.
Whoa. Justin says, so Philly, right? Like I'm seeing y'all in Philly, right? For the sectors. And yeah, you will.
You can sleep on my couch.
All 3 of us plan on going.
I'm walking to it probably.
That's true.
Actually,
yeah,
wait,
take the...
do we think it's going to be at the convention center, or do
It
we
is
think
at the convention center.
It's at
They
the
said it on
convention
stream today.
Okay, they
Yep.
said it on stream. I was working, like
Yep.
having to make money like a normal human being. All right, good. I can walk to it then.
So, yep. Convention
Yeah, if
center
someone
will
wants
all be
to
there.
crash on my couch, you just got to deal with sleeping with a 70-pound pit bull
Ah. Yeah.
who kicks.
Wow. Going off this, RexCon asks, how many times can I eat my opponent's Cad Bane leader at a PQ before I get a warning? Well, you only got 1 Cad Bane leader there, so your opponent probably eat 1 and then replace it because they don't want what you're going to give them back. So,
Yeah.
a couple business days later.
Yeah.
I feel like if you were to eat a
For me, a
showcase,
couple
that would
hours
be
later.
a better flex.
If you're going to eat a showcase, these hands are ready to eat forever.
Even if it's not Brian's showcase, he's ready
Yeah,
to
Brian.
stand up.
I'm
Brian's
coming
just
swinging.
standing on business for all showcases.
10 toes down. I'm gonna fight you. Yeah. Okay. So that's all our listener questions. How are we feeling, boys? We have any closing comments we want to make?
I'm
before we
mad
sign
that I'm
off?
missing the PQ.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to one of the ones in like North Jersey or something. I'll drag one of you with me.
Red Seal, yeah, I gotta see when it is.
I gotta double check those things.
I think it's next month, right?
I don't know why. Who's calling me on the phone?
Mhm.
Flock, what did you want to say before we?
So I want to say before we leave, we still. It's not. I think if this is going up Friday, until Friday, I think I posted till 9 p.m. for until we do the giveaways. So check out. It wasn't our last video, but the previous ones up last 5 out of last 6. We have giveaways if you comment, like, and subscribe, and you're subscribed to us. We'll be doing the comment picker Friday night, and then at 9 p.m. And that should be posted on our socials. The
Throw
winners.
us a subscribe, a like, and a comment. And hit that bell to make sure you don't
Ding.
miss a single video from us.
Woo!
Ugh.
Just a reminder.
Yep.
But yeah,
We
no, they're
appreciate
really
it.
cool
We
stuff.
very much appreciate it. We're sorry that we have to ask those things, but that's the.
I hate shilling, but
It's the nature of the beast.
it is what it is. Yeah, and they're really cool things that we were lucky enough to give away. So definitely check it out and go and watch the video again. For extra points. Doesn't count towards the giveaway, but might get a laugh out of it.
Yeah, might get a laugh.
We're a bunch of fun guys.
Yeah.
Fun.
Wild and crazy guys.
Wow, camping. So anyway, we will be checking in with you again real soon. But that's gonna do it for us tonight. Thanks for checking in with us and watching this or listening to it wherever you might be. Make sure to check us out on
And
Facebook, Twitter, Blue Sky, That's X now, but I still gotta call it Twitter.
Sorry,
You can join our Discord, Spotify, YouTube, all the other places. Jack did this. I still don't know where we are. We're everywhere. We are.
Apple
I have friends
Podcast.
everywhere.
Make sure that you confront Flockton about his net decking.
God, I
Okay,
can't
bud.
believe that's going to be a
I
clip.
posted,
That's
I
gonna be
posted it
too
in
short.
one of the group chats, and they're
Oh
all
my
losing their
gosh.
mind about it.
My God, special times. So, anyway, that's all for us. Thanks for
We love
tuning
you.
in. We will catch you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Peace.